let's find out. Always professional here on the Live Well Morning Show. Hi guys. Check me out rocking. This is day 3 hair, but I curled it yesterday. I need a few pieces I need to recurl because my hair is naturally stick straight. But I'm telling you what, I can only even keep this amount of curl because I use a flat iron to curl my hair. If I tried to do this with a curling iron, it would just be like, bye-bye every day. So hallelujah for a good flat iron curl. Cheers to that. Okay, I haven't been able to roll my face yet this morning. It's what we do this morning. I did. Good morning, Sarah Wiley. I'm a little bit late. I'm so sorry because I opted to take a shower and I thought I could do it fast enough. And I guess I could not, but I thought I'm going to get it done before I head in there. So then right after work, right after the morning show, I don't have to worry about fitting that in and everything while everyone else is doing their stuff. Good morning. All the Sarahs are here again. It's so fun. Okay. This is also the first morning this week. Well, first day yesterday that I did not do my planning for today. So we are going to do that together because that's what we do here on the morning show. We figure out our stuff after we depuff our faces and try to feel good about our lives. I am very tired this morning, but we are going to rally and we're going to make it happen. So I got in a lot of auditions yesterday. I have a lot of goals right now with my voiceover work to be getting in auditions, but today is the day that the podcast needs to go out, and I really want the YouTube video to go out that I filmed the other day. So those are high priority this morning. So I'll just go through how I set this up. If you don't know, this is my Stology notebook. I think that's all it's called. Stology notebook. I bought it off Amazon for less than $16, and I have the B6 size. I also have the A6 size that is very itty bitty. If you want to see like the difference, them side by side, there's quite a bit of difference here. If I were to put like my hand, this is a little too small for me. I know some people love it. This guy, it's like just the right size, cozy and wonderful. Where do you get the roller with the texture? The one you have is smooth. Where is it? This is from, it's on the tip of my tongue, Primally Pure. That's what it is. I was like, I know it starts with a P. Primally Pure has the one with the little nubbies, and I am not an affiliate with them currently, or I would send you a link. So, but they have it there on the Primally Pure website. This is also their gua sha stone, and I really like it too. It's got like a nice wide base for like this kind of stuff, but then it's got the teeth to like get in here on these wrinkles and be really getting after it. I like to comb like all the way up into my hair when I'm doing gua sha. And I like that it kind of has this like pointy part. You can almost do like some reflexology kinds of stuff, which is nice, like getting in here by your eyes and around your nose. I feel like it really helps like with your sinuses and all of that. Good morning, Amber. So yes, these are my depuffing, feeling better tools that I use. Okay, so back to the notebook. So this is my Stology, and I think I've kind of shown you guys this before, but there are times when I decorate her and she is cute and fun, and then there's times when she is like a business babe. She just is more straightforward and it's just like getting the information on the page, and that is more the realm we are in right now. So I just write down, get my hair off the page. I write down the day, like I make sure to say the day of the week, Wednesday. Does anyone still do that when they write Wednesday? Gotta sound it out. June 26th. It's the 26th, right? I sure hope so, or I'm very confused. Hey, Joy, good morning. Okay, and then I use my trusty little ruler and I count over 9 squares. That's just my personal preference for how much space I like to have in my daily layout, because this is where I put the hours of the day that I'm gonna then fill in for like a roadmap for what's going on. So I count over 3, 6, 9, put in my little line, and sometimes, you know, I get fun and funky and do this with the color, and the rest of the time it just happens with this is my favorite pen to use in here. I don't know why. I don't know where my cap went. It is a Sharpie fine liner in like the, you know, like the itty bitty fine liner. I love these. I feel like they write so nice. I also love a Pentel Energel. Big fan of those as well. You need a morning gua sha demo. Didn't I kind of just do it? I don't know. I thought I kind of did. Maybe, okay, maybe tomorrow we'll get after it with the gua sha, and we'll really get in there and do a routine. I really, for some reason, the only complaint I have about this pen is that the cap does not stay on the end. It's always a little loose. Okay, well, Joy, I will do it again tomorrow. But the cap doesn't stay on the end. Yep. I was just going to say that. It stays on here just fine, but it doesn't stay on the end. That is my complaint. Sharpie, just make this just a skosh bigger. Just so small. Just such a small alteration, and these would be perfect. But yes, Amber, I'm glad that we had this talk. Okay, so I start my day calendar. Maybe you don't put them on the end? What kind of person are you? Okay, so I started at 5 o'clock, and so I skip a line in between every hour, so it's like every line is a half an hour. If that makes sense, I'll show you again in a second. The only problem when I do this is if I'm not paying attention and I start at 5, I'll go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then about that point, I'm like, oh, I do not use military time. I was supposed to change it to 1 at 13. And so if I didn't do that, then I'm annoyed. But if I'm in a good rhythm, then I don't do it. So a lot of times I would also use, I don't think I have any sitting here right now, which is why I haven't been doing it, but I would take a mild liner and I would like just highlight that row. I'm sure I have some that are an example. Like this I did in gray. But see, I would just take a mild liner and it would make it stand out a little bit more that those were the times. So that's what I do. That's what that looks like. And then I go in and I consult my trusty Google Calendar, which, as I showed you guys the other day, currently looks insane because, well, I'll show you again, because let's press into the insanity every day here. What? It's crazy. It's just got everybody's stuff. When you have 7 people, there's a lot. There's a lot. You're going to start doing that, the highlighting. Uh-oh, I just tried to turn on a filter, which, let's face it, I could use, but I can't turn around the camera now. Okay, there we go. I didn't even know I could filter myself on here. It would help if I did. I guess we're just pressing into the real, you guys. Okay, so I know, love a pretty planner page, right? Love when it like is all laid out. So I consult this against that, and I don't write all of that on here. I only write what pertains to me on here, which is maybe like a big difference between the Google Calendar and my personal planner, because the Google Calendar holds all the things between my household and Hot Boyfriend's household. So it's got every kid's activity. It's got our meals. It's got my driving times for when I'm taking people places. It's got work stuff. It's like all the things. It has got all the things. So it can be a lot to look at. But when I put it here, I know like, okay, this is like telling me what to do next. But it's helpful to kind of have like some basic things that I put on here every day that are like, okay, so I know that at this time I'm going to try to be in the studio. And I know at this time, like I do try to go into Google Calendar and like block out some times that are fairly consistent throughout the week. And I do think that's helpful for then guiding me when I'm doing this. I'm not starting from scratch every day when I'm trying to formulate what a good flow to my day is going to be. I've gone in here and like made some big decisions. Like I know every 6 a.m. I'm doing my Live Well morning show. You know, I'm trying to be in the studio from like 10 to 12:30, right in that range every day. And it helps me to see if I do have things that are conflicting with that, how I can then make up that time in other places. So it does help me. Oh, then how do you fill in the slots? Do you have work things, not the, so do you then only fill in the slots that you have work things? Oh, okay. So yeah, anything that's pertaining to me is what I'm going to write in here. So if it's a kid's activity that I need to take them to, then I put it down. If it's not, if it's something that Nick is going to take one of the kids to, I only put it down if like I need to help a kid get ready or something like that. Like sometimes Sophia wants me to come over and do her hair, or sometimes Nick is driving my kids places. So there's some give and take there. So I did not get up at 5 this morning. I didn't. So I'm gonna leave that alone, but I am gonna write in morning show because it makes me feel better to see that I accomplished things. I also, over on this side, I usually put, actually I messed this up. I write live right here. There it is. Because I do a live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for my Patreon ladies. And so I will write the topic there that I'm doing that live about. Today we are talking about free ways that we can be taking care of our health this summer. So that is what we're going to talk about. If you're interested in Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/livewelltogether. Also, if you don't listen to my podcast, we talk about all sorts of fun planning and life things over there at Live Well Anyway, wherever you get your podcasts. Tell your friends. It's a great time. Okay, and so then I skip a couple lines and I put in my to-do list. Now, some of this is repetitive. I know that, but it's what works for my brain. So I'm going to put in the things that I need to get done today. I kind of go back and forth, but this is sort of essentially like a mini brain dump of what I need to get done today. And then I move those things over. I ask the when question, which if you have watched my YouTube video about the question that you can ask to skyrocket your productivity, it's the when question. And so it's all well and good to have a to-do list, but when you move it over and you actually ask, when am I going to do that thing? It gives you more commitment to getting it done. It actually helps you to find the space to get it done, because sometimes we are unreasonable in our to-do lists, or it's like our best intentions, but we don't actually find the time to make the things happen. So I think it's really important to find out when you're going to do that thing. It also helps you to reduce decision fatigue, because you don't have to make those decisions in the moment. You've already created the map for yourself of how the day is going to flow. So you just have to follow the directions. You don't have to try to then every time you get done with a task, figure out, well, okay, what do I need to do next? That is inefficient. When we make all of our decisions at once, it takes up less time and it takes up less energy. It helps us to just be able to move through what we need to do. So I'm going to do my little brain dump. I need to audition. I'm going to write down the morning show, because then I can check it off when I'm done here. I have my live with Patreon. I need to answer emails. At this point is also when I will go over and I will look at my list from yesterday and see what did I get done and what did I not get done. And some of these things I just didn't check off, but I need to check off. So And I got less done than I thought I did. Okay, so I am going to put on here the podcast because that is of high priority today, and editing a YouTube video that I would like to get out. So I'm going to put those both on there. And another thing is I'm going to be offering a planning course soon. And so I'm going to map out the course and promotion. You guys are the first to like hear that it's coming very soon in July. Do you want to hear it? Does anyone want to hear it? Does anyone care what we're doing? What's going to happen? Okay, so that's what I have there. And now I'm going to come over and start figuring out, okay, well, what is my day then actually going to look like to get those things done? So after I do the morning show, I'm going to do, I think, because I already got ready, Sarah Wiley wants to know, Amber wants to know. Okay, we'll pause on my planning, and I will tell you guys here first. I am bringing back the Live Well Planned. It used to be a cohort. Now I'm changing the format a little bit because I'm using a different website to be hosting the course, but it is going to be the group coaching course. And this is like an intensive course where you reformulate your life. We look at all the different aspects of planning for your life, where your time is going, what that backlog of tasks looks like, how to look at your systems and your routines and figure out what's working and what's not working. And I do video teaching, but then it's mixed with like tasks that you actually have to do, that you have homework for, and then I consult with you on those things. It might be broken up into like a VIP package and then just like a regular package, but the people who have that VIP package, they get the one-on-one within the group information to like for me to go in and actually look at your calendar, look at your day. Like I have people write down what a day looks like or what a week looks like, and we get in there and I audit it and I ask some really hard questions about what is working for you and what do you actually have time for and what are you actually getting done. We look at your self-care, we look at your meal planning, we look at like all of those pieces and pull them together so that you can live a life that you actually like and that is actually workable. And then I kind of follow with you for a little while as you're putting it into place so that we can iterate it and we can tweak it so that it actually works for you. So that is coming. I'm going to be putting it on sale, I think, the beginning of next week or maybe later this week. And then it is going to be starting in the second week of July. So it's coming quick. And your dishwasher is leaking. That's terrible. No, Joy. That does not bring me joy to hear. Make it stop. Okay, so I am going to get out into the studio after I am here. Yay, thank you, Amber. I'm excited about it. I've had really great luck with the people that I've coached with it before. And so I think it's time to be bringing it back. I think summer is a great time to be doing it. We account for like if you are on vacation or anything like that, you're able to get caught up. But it's just, I think it's a great time before you get into, the hubbub of the school year to reassess some of these things and figure them out. So okay, so I'm going to do studio time, I think for about an hour, because then my son is going to be waking up and he's going to be getting in the shower and I won't be able to be in the studio anymore. So I'm going to do studio time and then I am going to answer emails. And then I'm going to do my other live with Patreon. And that'll get me to about the time that I need to take my daughter to her ballet camp. Sorry for the writing time. And then after that, That's where it gets tricky. Like that stuff is all like pretty back to back. I know what I'm doing, and then I'm like, okay, now there's like some flexibility. There's a little bit of like wiggle room in the time. Sounds like a great planning for the school season. Like pre-planning? I think that's what you meant. Yes, exactly. Because we talk about that stuff too. And like, okay, how does this need to change as you're getting into the school year? Like we start doing some of that pre-thinking as well. But it really, I think it's a great time to step back and reassess. I did a whole podcast episode recently about what you can reassess, reevaluate in the summer. I just think it's a good time when you're out of your normal routine to kind of be able to like zoom out and see things, where when you're in the middle of it, it's a little bit harder. Okay, so I then have this wiggle room of about 45 minutes that I'm going to hold that space for something that might come up. But no, I'm not. I'm going to start editing the podcast. That's what I'm going to do when I get back, because that is non-studio. So podcast editing, and then for however long that takes, I think that'll take me about an hour. So then I'm going to get probably back into the studio, I think. And then when I'm done in the studio, I think I'm going to edit YouTube. See, if I'm putting them on, if I'm deciding when, because yesterday I only decided the first part of my morning, and then this afternoon part was a little bit more loosey-goosey, and that's where things went wrong. That's where it was like, I don't know what to do next. So today I'm going to be intentional about figuring it out again. And I have to sometimes like whip myself into shape. Do not forget to feed myself. Oh, yes, I do like feed myself in the margins. I am trying to work on getting back into the last like month and a half. I've not been as good about it, but I really love this book, Fast Like a Girl, which is all about like intermittent fasting, but for women. So it's not the same every day. It's according to your cycle. So trying to keep account on that. And then, so I'll be eating like later in the day anyway. But yes, I will feed myself. I will for sure. So yeah, I'm going to decide that I'm going to do that next. And then I am going to put in here at 2:00, I'm doing voice lessons with two of our daughters. So my oldest daughter and his daughter, I am doing voice lessons with them. So I'm just going to put that on here because I know that is like a stock thing happening. Your day went down the tubes yesterday when you started the book, or a book, reading or writing. I'm gonna assume reading, but if you're writing one, that's incredible, Rebecca, and we'd love to hear more. You want to hear more about Fast Like a Girl? I will definitely talk about it then. Maybe we could fit that in on Friday. Rebecca, what book? What book are you reading? Maybe we'll do like a reading thing on Friday, because I have one amazing recommendation and I've been reading a couple things lately. So YouTube, podcast editing studio, YouTube. And then, because I probably will eat in there, and I know I probably will have some time that, oh wait, I have to pick up my kid. Pick up Emerson from camp. Okay, so I do have to pick her up in there. So I'll take a break on the YouTube and come back and get back at it with getting the YouTube video hopefully done. And then at 4:00, I have to take my girls. They are with their dad this evening. So I have to go take them. And then I can look back at my day at that point and be like, what have I gotten done? What have I not gotten done? What else do I need to slip in here? And do I need to take a nap? Because I do find that on Wednesdays when they're gone and I have been waking up this early, sometimes that is the best thing that I can do for myself, is just be like, take a little pause, and maybe, like, pull yourself together here. You put an audio in yesterday after the lake and did a pretty good chunk of organizing in the office. I love organizing to an audiobook. It's one of my favorite ways to do it. And if I really want to get after cleaning and organizing and like really do it, I put on an organizing audiobook. My favorite is the Marie Kondo, Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. I have listened to that numerous times while cleaning, and it gets you into that, like, does this spark joy for me? Like, how do I want to fold things? Like, it just, like, does something for me. Yours was Emily Childs, Harlan Coben's newest one. I have not heard of them. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm going to write that down. Let me write some names down so I can look some things up. Harlan Coben and Emily Childs. I am currently reading Emily Henry's newest book, but I'm thinking it might have to go back to the library soon, so I might need to, like, put in some hours and get it done. You will try that when you get to the basement stage. Listening to an organizing audiobook, it's a game changer. I'm telling you what, it like changes how you think about it, and it's so fun. Okay, I think that's probably all for this morning. I am going to get Emma St. Clair. You guys are just like throwing names at me now. Okay. All right. I'm putting it down. He writes thrillers? Okay. Never mind. Okay. Bye-bye. No. I have too much PTSD. I think. To read thrillers. I can't do it. I lean towards the rom-com genre, and I'm not sorry about it. I am not embarrassed by it. I believe that I've come to terms in my heart about loving a rom-com, and hey, I'm reading, and it's okay. Like, I don't need to stress myself out while I'm reading. The only time I stress myself out when I'm reading is like in the spring, like late spring this year. It was like I press into like some World War II because it's getting lighter outside and I can like deal with the stress. Like, a lot of people, they just save their rom-coms for the summer and they read like their dark stuff in the winter when they're cozy and it's dark, and I'm like, nope. I need the light streaming in if I'm going to read this like stressful, sad thing. And I read The Midwife of Berlin. Well, first I read The Midwife of Auschwitz, and then I read The Midwife of Berlin. The Berlin one, so interesting because I really didn't know all that much about the Iron Curtain and the Berlin Wall and how that sucker came up. And it was like the kids of the people who were in Auschwitz, and like that was mind-blowing. It was crazy. It was both those books, so good. But now I'm back in rom-com mode because, ain't nobody need to just like be stressed out all the time. So I just, I used to feel bad, like I should be reading something like more high level, and Jane Austen, The Midwife of Berlin, but first read The Midwife of Auschwitz, and then The Midwife of Berlin. I think they're pretty cheap on Amazon as well. Emma St. Clair writes super fun rom-coms. Thank you. That's what we need. I'm reading the latest Emily Henry, and then I have a whole slew of ones that are coming out on Netflix or on NetGalley that I really need to get after. But the Emily Henry one, I had been waiting and it came in at the library, so I was like, I have to pause my NetGalley reading to do this Emily Henry one. I also have books like coming out of my ears for the podcast right now, so we need to do like a whole reading thing. You do an audio nonfiction hoity-toity stuff. You do audio for nonfiction. Yes, I don't really like to listen to my fiction. This could be we'll do this on Friday. This could be a whole talk because I listen to my nonfiction. My fiction, I'm an audiobook author, like not author, but narrator. So it's harder for me to listen to the fiction. It has to be like really good. I'm sort of an audiobook snob, but yeah, I do love my nonfiction on audio for sure. Okay. I'm gonna go get my coffee and get in the studio. Actually, no, I'm not gonna get my coffee before I get in the studio because that like messes with my voice. So I'm gonna get in the studio and then I'm gonna do that. But yes, we will do book chat on Friday. Everybody bring their books. We'll talk about all the things. But we will be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. over on Instagram. I would love to see you ladies there. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. If you are in Patreon, I will see you again around 8 o'clock Pacific. And until then, go be bold and gracious, ladies. Bye.